I'm in squeaky chair. Good morning.
Oh my God. Good morning. I have a squeaky brain.
Coffee and a podcast. Yay!
Yay!
Cheryl Ann.
Oh my goodness. Irisforcier, who is she? It's been the fun morning already.
Yes,
so,
we've had quite the excitement here.
We have. We were just, we always like, I need a remote control so that I'm just not punching the button. I'll get that all figured out in the future where we're just like waiting, like, are we on? We're on? Oh, we're on. Yay, surprise! Good morning.
It's always this,
or good
let's have a
evening
toast.
if you're watching us and it's
Get
evening.
sip of that
I'm
nice
going to.
coffee.
I didn't want to drool on my evening, morning.
Middle of the night.
Good morning. What are you drinking?
Coffee. Oh, I love this. Like,
I would hope so.
little
Because it is
rose
coffee
on
and a
my black,
podcast.
cup.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
My to-go
Muy
cup, 'cause
bonita.
I have to drink some on the way here, drink some when I get here.
Drink some after.
It's a coffee-filled day.
Definitely.
Not too much, but
No. Well, it's Pacific Northwest. I think it might be drier today, which will be great because my little brain can't take being so sensitive to weather anymore.
yeah, well,
I get
my body. I guess.
Oh, I know.
I'm like, I need a massage. But I gave mine away to my husband. He gave it to me for Christmas.
What?
But I looked at him and said, "You need it more. You take
Aw, that was very
it." So
sweet of
I'm
you.
like, now I'm dying. I wish I would have kept it, but now I'm glad I gave it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll sort it out. You know, I need to do some self-care.
She does massage as well as being a podcaster and as well as being a real estate mogul.
That's right.
So she does do that. That's
So
such a talent and such.
Yeah.
She was talking last week about all of the ongoing training.
Yes.
And how I mean. There's massage, and then there's massage. I mean,
Correct.
you really have to, or let me restate that. It's really good to make sure that you are, I feel like I'm on a mini podcast now, but you're really to make sure you are researching who you're going to.
Yeah.
Because she's up to date with the latest and greatest information.
Yeah.
And to have those hands and to be able to give that health, because that's a mental health, that's a
I feel like
health.
genie.
Yeah. Do you have your hands insured for $1 million?
No, but I feel like some days I should have them insured because I can't get hurt. It's
exactly. So I think she should check into that. But so no, it's a great morning. It's just I'm just a little on the tired side.
I am a little tired too, but I'm good. I mean, yesterday was a bad day for me, like feeling like because the weather was a little rainy and good morning, Cup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
the rainy, dreary.
Yeah, but today it's kind of sunny. It was sunny all the way here, except for there was a gray cover coming into your area.
What? I'm not an Eeyore town. What the heck is up with that?
I don't know, but it was sunny all the way here.
Yeah, we have sunshine here with our lights and everything.
She is way more
I am really trying to, they say if you can't...
no, you fake it till you make it.
You make it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I want to tell them about your...
my vision board. Oh, hang on.
Because Cheryl Ann did these with her real estate peeps. And
it's my vision board. And you're like, well, what's not a lot of vision?
No,
a lot of words. Well, the book I was using.
Vision.
Yeah, see my vision. I love flowers. I love those colors.
Yeah.
This is my adventure, explore more.
Yeah.
Being by the cabins. My friends. It's a new year, new life. Okay, that's not my body. Obviously can't get that. But it's just, I just like the statement of new year, new body. New life. That's kind of funny.
Did you want this new guy?
Maybe. Sorry. Maybe that's what I'm manifesting. Or you're joking.
I think you should get your
love. No, I know. It's really funny. I think I'm just more like in awe about the trimness, like health. I have no idea. Health, traveling, which you'll be going there.
Yeah.
The blank check. Can write a blank check. I can have a boarding pass to wherever I want to go.
That's right.
It's about faith and family and love. But the big messages are be your own inspiration. Don't forget to love yourself. Make yourself a priority. I have another one over here somewhere. I am worth over $1 million. Cool. See? Because I got a blank check. You gotta write a lot of money in there.
I think it's awesome. I really do.
So it's
very inspiring.
I had one of my teammates go, I thought a vision board was more picture oriented. I'm like, that's my spin. But the books I was going through,
they didn't have what you wanted.
And then we're limited on time.
Excuse me.
And so words are powerful.
Words are powerful. Words matter.
Yeah, words do matter. So I thought, let's shake it up and let's just do something different.
I love it.
So we'll go in the office so I can stare at it.
That's right.
And it points to everything, like simplify over clutter. Yeah, that got in there. Don't look at my house right now because I still have Christmas. I've been so busy. I have an adorable client that we're gonna go in and make an offer this weekend, but it's just
you're busy.
We're just busy, and we just want to find to make sure it's the right thing for them. So it's been a lot of travel, but will I do it again? Good. Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
So I'm not going to tell you who I'm doing.
You're not?
She knows who I'm doing. But I'm going to play a song and see if any of you guys can understand. One of my ultimate favorites.
Everyone loves to sing.
Oh, I know. I know. I could sit here right now and start singing to her music. Oh, her. I gave part away. Hang on, this phone's really stupid.
Her. Yeah, her. We knew you were drained.
Okay, so gotta take off the. Oh, hang on. I gotta stop. Oh. You gotta go back, Chica. I want to start you at the very beginning. Okay. I don't know if people can hear that. No, you can't because you turned it off.
I cannot carry a tune, or I would sing you the song, but
oh my gosh, I want to cry. So this beautiful woman is Karen Carpenter. She's gonna make me cry because...
Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? Who didn't sing that?
No. Oh yeah. Or like, who didn't? Rainy days and Mondays. Oh,
nice voice.
Down. Anyway, so yeah, she was amazing, and she was taken way too soon. Way too
young.
I have a couple photos.
Let's see.
Some really cool stuff about her, but then some really sad because she didn't get to live the life that she wanted to. But this is a beautiful one. But she did live. Yeah, she did live an amazing short life. So there's a beautiful picture of her. I don't know what year that was born, so don't ask me. This was at the...
that picture was, you mean?
Yeah, that was... I think that was like on a cover of a magazine is what that one was. This was at the very beginning.
Oh, look how
sweet. Look at that. Her and her brother.
Yeah.
And I actually watched the video of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then this is her because...
She could drum.
Yeah, you guys know. Yeah. Okay, here. No, I'm kidding. We do this to each other all the time. So no, she actually was a kick-ass drummer.
Yeah.
So there's her drumming away. And then we'll explain
very talented.
Why... she wasn't shown that way. So, there's a reason why.
Okay.
So she was, now I need to get the glasses on because, there we go.
Yeah, I always put them on when I'm reading.
The really cool thing about them is they seem to always, her brother, before I get into her brother was amazing. So he was a piano prodigy. Mm-hmm. And so he knew tunes, he knew composition, he was just instantly gifted that way. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to forget to say their top 5 songs, which they had many. Wow. The top five is Close to You.
Close to You.
Yeah, Close to You.
On the Day You Were Born. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that song.
That's beautiful.
Rainy Days and Mondays.
Rainy Days and Mondays.
We've Only Just Begun.
I like that one.
Superstar. I'll have to go back to play. It's really cool. It's really good. I can't because I got the
Superstar
phone I can't do it on the phone.
Okay.
And then Yesterday, Once More. So those are just those are the top ones. And she was revered as one of the greatest voices. She has a 3-octave voice, which she can go higher, but she was really known for her lower threshold. So I forget what it's called. So it's called octave something or other. It's so they tended to want her to sing in a lower. Her brother called it the basement voice.
Yeah, I like
that. Because she has a tone in her voice that's not been duplicated today. Nobody has been able to be like her because the way her vocals was.
Right.
And she didn't start off in vocals. So let me jump into her and then I'll tell you why. So
her voice is kind of sultry too.
It's very sultry. Yeah. It's very beautiful.
I like that.
It's very
melodic.
Yeah, it's oh, sorry, Scarlett. My client's calling, but I'm gonna have to decline.
Get back
So I have to get back to him. He knows we're doing a podcast, but I'll have to let him know. Or I can you find Skylar and text him? No.
Sure.
So she was born March 2nd, 1950, and she was born in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. And
East Coasters. Yeah.
Do what? East Coaster.
Coast,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
United States.
Unfortunately, I'll let you know, she died February 3rd in 1983, and she was only 32. So that's really sad. And she died in California. So her genres are pop, easy listening, soft rock, and jazz. So she and her brother are the only. So her brother's 4 years older than her. And his name's Richard, but they called him Dick. And I just no jokes. It's just people like to joke about that jokes. But they, so her, sorry, I scrolled for a moment. Her father's name was Harold, and the mother's name was Angus. Not the Angus star.
Isn't that Agnes?
Agnes, yeah. Angus. I'm like, Agnes. People, I have a really bad headache. Agnes. Angus. You know, say Angus. Agnes.
Love it. I love it.
See how you can.
I haven't even looked at the paper, but I'm like,
Angus. No, I guess I'm just thinking, I'm just channeling my AC/DC now. I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Now that's why.
Yeah.
Because I saw the Rolling Stones. Word, and then I saw that and I'm like, Angus, yeah, rock and roll. So anyway,
that's funny.
They talk about her having that distinctive 3-octave. It's a
let me see.
Contralto range.
Mm-hmm. Octave contralto.
There you go. So she was actually in 2010's list of 100 greatest singers of all time from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
So the sad thing about the parents is they're not loving.
Oh, they're not?
No, they're not loving. And she ends up, the mother, Agnes, she favors Richard.
Right.
Because Richard was the firstborn.
Sure.
He's a prodigy at 4. Piano. The parents were very much into music. And so that's where they got into their music, was from the parents.
Wow.
A little bit about them. So they were born in Connecticut. Harold was born in actually Wuhan, China.
Oh, wow.
And his parents were missionaries.
Okay.
Before finding work in the printing business, he was educated at the boarding schools in the United Kingdom. So for however he grew up, I think... What? Wuzhou. Okay, thank you. Wuzhou, China. So we have to remember, because I have to remember the way my dad grew up, because my dad had some very harsh words. Love my dad dearly.
Yeah.
But he had hard words because the way he was raised. So remember, it can trickle down, and then we just try to stop it and go from there. So unfortunately, they were not warm and fuzzy.
Okay.
Mom never told Karen she loved her. Aww. So if you watch the documentary, it is not true. It's not accurate. At the end, before she dies, her mom says she loves her. When they went to do the documentary, the parents and the brother warm and fuzzied the story because they didn't want to get into all the deep dark secrets, the nitty gritty. So unfortunately, the mom just wasn't seeing her that way. I think part of the reason why is she loves softball. Mm-hmm. And so here you've got the brother, he's playing piano, you've got the girl, she's playing softball, and the mom's like, you know, I don't want my girl to be playing softball. Mm-hmm. She's a girl, she should be cooking. And remember the stereotypes back then were really hard. And so she's like, she had her favorite teams, she loved to play softball. That's where it was at for her, right? So and she did love music. Because she was growing up that way.
You can't pick your parents. Well, they say you can, but...
well, I guess you can...
spiritually, but...
Yeah, exactly. So she played baseball with other children on the street. And then... and she was actually... this is part of it, too. Was selected before her brother for games. So even though the brother was a prodigy, we're going to get into how there was a lot of jealousy from the brother And I'm not being negative on the brother. It's just civilly, get jealousy and stuff like that. Because here she played baseball, softball, whatever you want to call it, and they wouldn't pick him. And he's like, wait, I'm a man, why not me? So, and then in the early 70s, she became a pitcher on a Celebrity All-Star game, which was really cool. So just to point out, some of her friends was Olivia Newton-John. She was very close to her. Dionne Warwick, she adored. And then, is it Petulia Clark?
Petulia Clark.
Okay, just want to make sure. So the interesting thing is back then in the 70s when you have the women's liberation movement, right? Karen still wanted to be the cook, the housewife, the kids. So even though she was, she ended up becoming a drummer,
right?
She still yearned for all of that.
That's
and
amazing.
It was a little bit hard because here her friends are pushing one way, and she's like, well, wait, what's wrong with being a mom? What's wrong with being a wife and all that? So even though it was just an interesting time. Yeah. And then here, think of her maxing her strength. She is a female drummer in a male dominated industry. So it takes a lot of inner strength. She was strong, but yet very very vulnerable because of how her house, she always was out seeking love.
Right.
And so we understand that.
Yes.
So the cute thing that I learned about that is that, her brother is playing the piano. He's a prodigy. And Karen's first words were bye-bye and stop it, that were later spoken in the response to Richard, her brother, like with the music and like, stop it, I just thought that was cute. Anyway, she enjoyed dancing by the age of 4 and was enrolled in tap dancing and ballet classes. But she loved her softball, which was very, very cool. So the family packed it up. They moved in 1963 to Los Angeles, a suburb of Downey. And he was offered, her dad, Harold, was offered a job there by a former business associate. So she went to Downey High School.
Nice.
So in 64, at the age of 14, she was younger than her classmates. And I understand why, because that happened to me too. So if you passed the test, but you're a year younger and you're cuspy, but she was in March, so it's different, then you could go ahead.
Sure.
So I graduated, I was like 16, and then later that year, I turned 17 and then graduated 17. So it's kind of like, see what happened. So this is a funny thing. So how did she get into drums, right? Well, she, at 14, she joined the marching band. And you know why? She didn't want to go to exercise class. So it was her way to get out of the exercise. Let's go do band.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to avoid all that. So I have no idea, and I was going to look this up. What's a glockenspiel? Can you look up what a glockenspiel? It's an instrument.
Oh, I know that
and
word.
So her
glockenspiel.
Her instructor,
yes, I know that word.
Or conductor, he gave her a glockenspiel, and she hated it. And so she'd admired other people to play the drums, and she was like, I want to play the drums. Is that what that is?
It's like a xylophone.
Like a xylophone. You can feel it.
That's okay.
It's like a xylophone. She did not like it at all. And then after admiring the performance of her friend and classmates drummer Frankie Chavez, she wanted to play the drums. So she wanted a Ludwig drum because she knew that was what she wanted. That was her favorite of her drummer, Ringo Starr and Joe Morello. So Chavez, the band person, teacher, persuaded her family to buy a set. Nice. $300, which is equivalent in 1923 of $2,900. So it's a lot of money back then to invest. But she's like, I'm going to play drums. I'm going to play like Ringo Starr. I want to have the Ludwig.
Wow.
Yeah. So then she began to play. So her enthusiasm for drumming led to teaching herself how to play complicated lines studying the stick control, all those techniques that, Ringo, you see him flipping and doing all that. So she blew people away. And her brother didn't want her to know how in awe he was of her playing. So he kind of played it down, right? Yeah. So she began to study the drum techniques with Bill Douglas. He was a self-respected jazz drummer with Benny Goodman. And soon after she acquired this, they called them drum kits. Yeah. So she was really nervous about playing in public. And this is where part of this comes in at, because you're nervous, but you got your safety of your drums. You can hide behind your drums. Yeah. So you're not as vulnerable. Right. So she really enjoyed that part of it, right? Yeah. So she performed in college choir with Richard. So Richard was, like we said, a pianist. He sang. He has a really nice voice. He's 4 years older than her. I didn't know. But Karen, when she was doing her drum things and they were singing, then someone's like, ooh, that voice. She's got a good voice. Let's work on her voice. So she became more confident in singing and began to take lessons with Frank Pooler, the choir's director. So she worked with him and developed her upper register. It's a term, so there's all sorts of, we listen a lot to the vocal coaches and their upper voice and their lower voice and their falsetto and how they can roll, all these different things. Yeah. So I understand a little bit of what they're talking about. So he taught her a mixture of classical and pop. So here now by the age of 17, she's not only kicking it on the drums, she's kicking it on the vocals. Wow. So it goes into talk about like they decide that they're going to work together because it's part of the parents' plan of like, hey, well, let's, get you two together and let's do a duo and the whole bit. They do a duo, and they also bring in a friend from college because now by this time Richard's in college and his name is Wes Jacobs. So they become a trio. They start auditioning. What I learned was really cool because I learned this on, it was a person's individual channel and I didn't write down who they were. They were actually, you know who Herb Alford is?
Oh, love Herb.
And the Tijuana Brass, love them. He actually was given their music. And he's like, oh my gosh, these guys are amazing. Wow. And if it wasn't for Herb, then they wouldn't be around because he really pushed. Because people are like, no. And he's like, well, I'm going to take you under my wing then. Because people wouldn't sign him. They're like, I'm too fluff and soft and blah, blah. Yeah. Because they're coming into the late 60s and rock and roll is just starting to rumble out with elevating. And so he's like, no, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah. So that part was really, really, really cool.
So cool.
So then the Carpenters released their first solo record, Looking for Love, and I'll Be Yours, in 1967. And unfortunately, only 500 copies were pressed, and then that company actually went out of business. So that was kind of sad there. Because again, the execs were all like...
They kept going.
Yeah, they kept going. So in 68, it was called the Dick Carpenter Trio, which doesn't flow off your tongue. They did their performing. They actually had become another band. I'm trying to remember what the name is because I didn't write it down. Like all bands, you go through your growing points. You bring people in, people go, you're doing different things. That name's not really flying. Karen wanted part of her name to be in there, but Richard was very controlling that way of very much the vision. He was a visionary of, and I don't want to say controlling in a bad way, but he was the person who had the dream, the vision of where he saw them. Yeah. But with that, you need to bring in the other people into your vision. So that's where the struggle was. So this just goes on to talk about how they went through their ups and battles of getting where they're at. Now, mind you, she's 5'4". Okay. So she's playing, and there becomes this criticism about, she's great, but we can't see her. Oh. She's hiding behind this desk thing, the kit, the drum kit. Right. So a lot of the reviews are like, we'd like to see her get out there. So at this point of the game, she's playing, she's singing in the background Richard and the other guy, they're more the front runners. Right. So she's not a front runner, not in her voice. She's playing with the band.
Right.
So then it gets moved to where you can't deny her amazing vocal talent.
Wow.
Right?
Oh,
so then she has to I get chills. She's got to leave her little safety net, people, that she's built around her. Yeah. And then, so she's got to get away from this. And now she's like out front and center.
Right.
Very, very nervous. So she does that. And it's hard for her because she doesn't want to be that. But the world starts just like, oh my gosh.
Well,
just falling in love with them.
Yeah, like her voice now is stuck in my head.
I know. I love her voice.
I love her voice.
I'll tell you some because there's some cool stuff that we.
Chills.
Yeah, I know. It gives me chills too. So, through all of this, there's a really complicated relationship with their parents. Mm-hmm. Parents don't see that eye to eye. They're, like I said, they're favoring the son. They're kind of ignoring their daughter. It's just getting very, frustrating. So they didn't even know her talent because they were so distant. They were not aware of her musical talent.
How can you not be?
I know.
Oh, yeah.
But she continued to live with them until 1974. So this is just a funny note. So in 76. Fast forward, when Carpenter bought 2 Century City apartments.
Yes.
That she combined into one.
I was in that building because my
very cool.
adopted parents, Katie and Marty, lived in that same building.
Oh, very awesome. Did you get to know her?
No.
Oh, no, you didn't.
That was before my time.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
but he knew her.
The how cool. I would love to have known her. The doorbell chimed the opening notes of We've Only Just Begun, which is very cool. Can you imagine your doorbell? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and she collected Disney memorabilia, and of course she loves softball and baseball. And she was a fan of the New York Yankees, so which is very. I just kind of fun trivia I threw in there.
So cool.
So
she's so.
They started touring in 1976. Mm-hmm. And they're moving around from different stage performances and the whole bit. Then they're getting their hits are coming one after another, which I didn't write it down in sequence, but it's really cool because Herb Alford gave them, which song did he give them? Nobody, like 5 other singers had this song and no one did it justice, but she did it, and it became.
I wish I knew which one.
I'll go back. I wanted to write that one down and I forgot.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, exactly. So it just goes into, their ups and downs with going through and her uncomfortability being the front runner, right? Because so Karen's drumming skills, but she believed her greatest strength was as a vocalist, and thought herself more as like adapting into the studio recording part of it. So
she was more comfortable in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and then she does, like, on her albums, she liked to do most of the drumming on her, the instrument work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then what happens is in the mid 70s. Richard starts getting addicted to Quaaludes. So he's really tired. He uses these things to bring him up.
Yeah.
He doesn't think that he has a problem, but he pushes through.
Yeah.
And then they ended up getting a lot of tours canceled and all that because of that. But then what's coming into that is, so as all people under the microscope, as you are, we're under the microscope, people look at us, the whole bit, but you're going to get what you get with me. I mean, it's but she unfortunately read.
But that's because we're older and wiser now.
I understand. Yep.
You went through all this crap.
Exactly. She ended up seeing an article that led to a picture, and this person's like, oh yeah, she's really beautiful and all that, but yeah, she's a little overweight. And then she looked at the picture, and because back in school, she was conscious of that, and she had done these different diets and worked on being lean and trim, and then it triggered. And this is back in the day when, in the 70s, no one knew about what anorexia nervosa was.
Sure.
The eating disorder.
So sad.
And so here she is. She's trying to get love from her mom. She's, I just can so relate where her mind's at. She's having the friction with her brother because her brother, he loves her talent and wants to showcase her, but then he's also, well, what about me? What about my vocal range? What about my skills as a pianist? And it's that tug back and forth, like you want to promote, but then, you know what I mean? Does it make sense? So she ends up, like 10 years before she ended up passing, she starts taking laxatives. She starts getting on a thyroid medication. There's nothing wrong with her thyroid because it sped up her metabolism.
Right.
She got addicted to syrup of Icapac, which you give when
you throw up.
That would just be horrible. I don't like to throw up, so I could never be that way. So no one knew she was addicted. And what happens? What is
your esophagus?
No, it was the heart. That medicine deteriorated the muscles in her heart. So that's what ended up. Her heart just got so worn down from the ups and downs of her weight, and so she wouldn't recognize it like her brother Richard wouldn't recognize it. But then she ended up convincing him that he needed to go seek help. They're taking time off because they all of a sudden they shot up just like that.
Wow.
6 months or 3 months later, another hit came out. 6 months after that, another hit came out. So they were riding this huge train. And then it got to the point where, Richard, you got to take care of yourself. Come on, let's get this straight. She's comfortable out there. I mean, if you watch her videos, she's comfortable because she gets herself into her zone. But she's also very conscious now because that person was, and I think I know which outfit it was, where she's wearing this satiny thing, and satin is all that way with every woman.
Not forgiving.
Well, I mean, it just attracts your body, so it's going to emphasize. She would look beautiful,
right?
But I could be wrong, but I think it's the one that it's just everybody's going to be a critic, and you got to love yourself first.
You do. You really do. Love your body, people.
It's about you, not about them. So
about your health.
He goes away. He takes care of herself, and then she starts doing her own thing because she wanted to do her own solo. She wanted to say, "Hey, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more confident."
Did she do some solos?
She did, but this is the sad thing. So, and what is the gentleman's name?
Song?
She started doing. That was the time when Olivia Newton-John was coming in. And you're doing that.
Physical.
So you da-da-da.
I worked on that video.
So, well, there's a story. I have to interview her, I think, on our own podcast.
I have pictures.
That is so cool. So, and Olivia Newton-John was one of her friends. So she wanted to get into that. She wanted to get out of the squeaky clean image that they had created. And she wanted to do more. I'm trying to think of what the word is. It's more... I guess more pop, but it's more, what is that? What do you call that genre? It's more of your disco. She just wanted to branch out, and I actually listened to her album that she created.
Was it good?
I've never heard it. It wasn't released until 13 years after her death.
Wow.
Richard had a change of heart and said, "I'm so sorry." So what he did is he listened to it. And he was like, "Oh, it's really good." This
I gotta hear
and
it.
he goes, "No, it's not good. We're not going to do it. Let me show it to our producers, but they're not going to go for it." And they didn't go for it. And Quincy Jones was the one behind. He's like, "No, this is good. This is good, right?"
I gotta hear this now.
And it's her her album.
I gotta hear this.
And so then she put that back in the seat. So here she's trying to get more comfortable, and the reason why is she actually ended up getting married. So.
Oh, who'd she marry?
She ended up marrying a real estate mogul. Okay. So she had dated quite the men. This goes into all of that. I already talked about all of that.
Okay.
I'm going to see. So she had dated like Tony Danza.
Oh, cute.
Terry Ellis, Tom Baller, Mark Harmon, Steve Martin, Alan Osmond, Bill Hudson. I mean, she dated a lot of A-list guys, right? Yeah. So, and she longed, even though if I were to talk to her and you're her, she'd be like, yeah, no, I'm on the road. Love isn't for me. That's not fair. You know, so she downplayed it, right?
Right.
In her heart, she had mentioned to Olivia Newton-John that she longed to be married. She longed to have a family. Yeah. But she painted a picture for the public differently, right? Right. So after a 3-month whirlwind romance, 3 month, right? She marries real estate developer Thomas James Burris in 1990. Wow. So no, not good. Oh. So this gentleman was a bankrupt manipulator, from what they say, that using their words. This is from Wikipedia, by the way, people. Sorry. Yeah. And he was married. He was married, but he went ahead and divorced his wife. He had an 18-year-old son, married her, and he started immediately draining her money. Yeah. He was, I guess, supposedly abusive verbally and physically. And so she ended up, like, I want to say 14 months later, the marriage did not survive due to the disagreement, and I'll tell you why, ended in 14 months. So here, oh yeah, babe, okay, babe. She marries him 3 months later, and she's like, he's like, oh, by the way, I had a vasectomy, and I'm not going to reverse it. He knew she wanted children. Oh. He knew she wanted children.
Dirty
and
dog.
A family. Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, no. Yeah. So she ended up kicking him to the curb. He would just borrow lots of money from her, and she's like, I can't take this. I just can't do this.
So
He's got to go.
He's
got to go. Yeah. But so that was in 1980. Yeah. And then so in 1981. So now her health is really even more so impacted. So she was already trying to maintain.
Stressed out.
Richard was concerned, but not enough concerned because she still sang beautifully. Wow. So he's like, yeah, you need to pack on a couple pounds. She did end up going to, I forget the gentleman's name, and he was able to get her to gain back weight, but it was too quick because she would know, and a lot of you know, when you lose weight fast, when you gain weight fast, it's really hard on your heart. It's really hard on your internal organs. Yeah. So she gained it back a little too fast. So then, you're trying to balance her out. She was going through all this stress. The one she wanted most of all in life, marriage and kids, now she can't have, because her body's now become to the point where she's not going to be able to do that, right?
So sad.
So she revised her will, and she left the material home and its contents to the soon-to-be ex-husband, and they left everything else to her brother and her parents, which the equivalent would have been between 14 and 28 million at that time. Wow. So they instantly, within their first year, they were millionaires, which was crazy. I forgot to mention that. So these guys just raised right up. So then 2 months later, following an argument after the family dinner in the restaurant, they're just like, this is it. They parted ways. They filed divorce on October 28th of 1992 while she was still a patient in the hospital. Because at this point, she's still seeking treatment because she's too weak.
And she's like, let me go.
Yeah, she drops to...
so he
just got the house and her contents. He didn't get any of her money. She rewrote the will. Okay, so she had really good friends that could have been Dionne Warwick, that could have been Olivia Newton-John, really being those pro advocates for her.
Yeah. We need that.
Now she's dropping to like 77 pounds. Oh. I mean, she plummeted.
Heavenly days.
People thought she had cancer, but it was because nothing was known about anorexia nervosa. Yeah. So in her beginning years, it talks about, she was dieting, and she went on this, it's called the Stillman diet.
So did she have heart failure?
She, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's people, there's always going to be controversy.
Always.
They're thinking it had more to do with X, but I honestly don't think so. You would know more, but it's when your body goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Your body can only take so much of ups and downs, up and downs.
Right. And stress.
Yeah. So she ended up, they say it's cardiac arrest. Her heartbeat was beating once every 10 seconds. She was rushed and...
they couldn't see.
Yeah, no, they discounted drug overdose and things like that. It's because of the way her sugar levels and all those things are in your body when you're dropping your weight so much and you're trying to fight to do your daily kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the sad thing is that here, right up until the end, she's divorcing her husband, and then she passes away in 83. So it's really
But she
sad.
was divorced, though.
She was divorced, yeah.
Good.
So she did get, they did get a star on the Walk of Fame, which is great.
What year was that?
And
Do we know?
it doesn't say. They did get that.
Nice.
And
Well-deserved.
Burt Baccarat said that the sound in her voice was very unique that he's never heard before, which is so true. So, here it is. I'm sorry, it is 8 months after her death, they received their star. So her death actually brought the attention of anorexia nervosa.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's sad, but that's good.
It's really
that
sad.
It's now at the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll look forward to listening to that album.
So her album is
I'm gonna
it's like I should.
It's okay. I can Google it.
There we go.
Everything's available.
Everything's available. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he admitted that he was Richard, her brother, admitted that he was jealous of his sister.
Yeah.
And he loved. I'm gonna cry. He loved the bond he had with his sister. He loved the music they shared together.
Yeah.
The thought of her going off and doing her own thing solo. And he was still successful in his own right after she passed. He still did music. He still did producing and all that kind of stuff. He ended up getting married, had 5 kids.
Wow.
But so
Kids.
he did. But he didn't want to do it without his sister as much as he was jealous of her being the forerunner.
Right.
And then all poor little Karen was trying to do was get her parents' love and attention.
Yeah.
They even refused to send her to treatment when they even knew
something was wrong.
Even when they saw her, they're like
so sad.
They're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with our daughter.
Oh,
how could there
denial,
look at her.
denial.
So that's where.
Well, I'm sure they have to.
They have to live with. They had to live with that.
Yeah. Imagine that.
She had a couple quotes.
Let's hear them.
People never think of entertainers as being human. When you walk out on stage, the audience thinks nothing can go wrong with them. Like nothing can be wrong with them. They're superstars, right?
Yeah.
So they get sick and we get headaches just like they do. When we are cut, we bleed. So basically what she's saying is like...
We're people too.
We're people too. Don't put us on the pedestal.
Yeah.
And then... not enough people in this world are happy. That was one that was cute. When she said, I'm just afraid I'm going to miss it all. Being married, being a mother. I just started crying when I saw that one. Our first single, Ticket to Ride, was a kind of a half hit, half flop. In some places it was a number 1, as she said, in others it was a ashtray material. You can tell that she was very, very sad. She was very happy for the life she led, and she was very revered with her vocals, which she thought of herself as a drummer first, and then a vocalist. But the one thing she just wanted to be was a mom.
So on that note, we really encourage to not care about what other people think about your weight. And it's easy to do when we see people that are overweight or underweight. And it's easy for us to pass judgments. We don't know their medical necessities or what they're struggling with, or we don't have a clue what their ideal weight should be. You know, I don't claim to, but I'm guilty of seeing someone who's underweight thinking, oh my God, are they eating enough? You know, like
I worry about their heart. Is what I instantly go, oh my gosh, I hope their heart is okay. Because I mean, some people can. It's part of their I've known people that
they run on the slimmer side. Have shut down, started to shut down because they're not getting enough food or protein. And that can happen for different reasons too. But we don't need to starve ourselves to look like the ideal person. You know,
no,
we don't.
You were created for you.
That's right. And I look like Mrs. Santa Claus, so I'm okay. A little chubby here, but you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy to be alive.
She's adorable. Exactly. Yeah. Well, amen. Yes.
Yeah.
Amen
so thanks for that.
So I'm Tinkerbell.
Really,
you got the little booty.
She is a Tinkerbell. I'm so glad you did that story. I love it. Now I'm gonna have Karen Carpenter stuck in my head.
Why did I pick her?
Yeah. Well,
I picked her because.
Didn't I tell you? No.
What?
Why'd you?
Well, I have no idea why she's laughing.
Okay, why'd you pick her?
I picked her because I want her to be remembered, for the beautiful soul. I'm going to slap her later. We go. Beautiful soul that she was, and that even though, I mean, she was gaining her confidence later, and that came out in that album that we were not blessed to have until 1996.
I want to hear that.
And it's just to believe in yourself. Yeah. So if I were her friend, I would hope that like Dionne Warwick and Olivia Newton-John, that I encouragement.
Well, here's
the big word is encouragement. Try to encourage people.
Here's the thing though, and I've learned this in classes of learning about pain education for people.
Oh, that's true.
And even for my own self, if we're not ready to receive the information, it doesn't matter. We're going to receive the information at any time when we're ready, and sometimes we might not make it.
And she might not have received what I had to say. I guess what I
maybe
wish
she wasn't ready for that information.
No, I wish I would have. I think I would have like snuck her album against her wishes, and I would have like pushed with Quincy, and I would have Quincy. Let's do this.
You know what? That's funny you say that, because I feel the same way about Michael Jackson. Like I had a deep want to save him, like that feeling. Like I wanted to be that person. You wanted to save Karen Carpenter. I wanted to save Michael Jackson.
I want to save him. Yeah. Oh, my mom loved Michael Jackson. I mean, she died before all the other stuff happened, but
right. I wanted to save them. So I get it.
Just think what she but she accomplished so much in her short 32 years.
And she overcame a lot of obstacles. With family, with the dynamics there. So, Karen, you
rock, girl.
Yeah.
You're a
rock.
She goes, you're a star on earth, you're a star in heaven. And that was another one.
Cry.
I truly believe that's one of her other quotes. I truly believe that because Stardust, Oh, Stardust. Oh, that's in that song. So I was like, I didn't go to bed till midnight because I was playing her a couple of her songs while I was finishing off, and
she was crying.
She has some. I'm gonna cry right now.
I'm gonna cry.
Her voice has not been duplicated, people.
Yeah.
She had this
special
tone, but the way quality. She rolls her voice is.
Yeah, it's stuck in my head now. It's definitely stuck in my head.
It's like angelic, but it's also
angelic.
Earthy.
Yes,
but it's really hard to describe her voice.
Yeah,
but when you hear it, you're like, oh, does it go right into the heart? I mean,
it gives you all the feels,
all the good feels, and
all the good feels.
I'm gonna actually
thank you so much for.
I'm gonna actually either buy her album or her CD if I can find it, the 1996 one.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Karen Carpenter.
We honor you today, Karen. I know.
Yeah, we do.
That's all I got.
We honor you.
Yeah. And just be good kind. Be good to your siblings, please,
and be kind.
Be kind. Yeah. So that's all we got. That's all I got.
we're signing off. We're going to.
Alrighty, and then if you want to get a hold of us, it's coffeeandapodcast3
at gmail.com.
So, and then
we'll get back to that client now.
I know I got a client that I need to call back.
We'll see you soon.
Alrighty, ciao for now.
Bye bye.